about the role that environmental toxins play in the cancer equation.
Environmental toxicity plays a huge role. As a matter of fact, and I was shocked when I heard these numbers, but the EPA estimates that there's 74 billion pounds of chemicals being produced every day in the United States alone.
74 billion pounds.
Per day in the United States alone. How do we wrap our brain around that?
Wow.
So when you look at environmental toxicity, it's a huge issue because many of those chemicals have infiltrated, as you mentioned, our water supply, our food supply, the air we breathe, and many of them cause cancer, and many of them mimic estrogen, which drives cancer, and many of them mimic hormone disruptors in the body. So they cause a lot of problems. So when we look at it from a macro perspective, it's huge. Take it one step a little bit closer and we look at EMFs and electropollution. For people who don't think that EMFs are a problem, I encourage them to go to the bioinitiativereport.org to take a look. 27 scientists from various countries looked at 10 years of data, and their conclusion was that EMFs cause cancer, brain tumors, disrupt the immune system, suppress the reproductive functions of the body, affect your sleep and your memory. So EMFs are a huge problem. And it's been labeled one of the most insidious toxins on the planet because we don't see it, we don't feel it, we don't taste it, but it's affecting us 24/7. For example, in this office here, you can go to antennasearch.org and find out how many antennae are within a 4-mile radius. So I just Googled and put the address here. There's 91 antennas, cell towers, and 144 antennas within a 4-mile radius of this location.
Wow.
Now, as you move closer to big cities like Atlanta, you're looking at hundreds, like 200, 300, 400 cell towers in just a few miles. So we're literally swimming in a soup of EMFs and electrosmog.
And EMF stands for electromagnetic frequencies.
Correct.
Right, and so and when we think of EMF being harmful to us, we're talking about the fact that these are frequencies that are disrupting our body's natural, what would you say? I'll say this again. What am I trying to say? Disrupting the body's natural flow of energy, I guess, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Say that again, we'll get it heard.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So when we say EMF, we're talking about electromagnetic frequencies that would disrupt the body's normal flow of energy, correct?
Absolutely. Because if EMFs can go through brick walls, what do you think it's doing when it goes through our body? It's causing damage, and that damage is accumulative.
Right.
Now, if we continue to look at environmental toxicity and we bring it one step closer, we look in our homes. Just look under the sink, look into the cabinets and people's closets. The average household has over 1,000 chemical toxins in their home. The cleaners, the sprays, the artificial candles, all those things are contributing to their home environmental toxicity. Bring it one step closer to what people put on their skin. The average person is exposed to 167 chemicals per day from the lotions and potions they put on their skin, because anything you put on your skin is absorbed directly into the body. And again, many of those chemicals have been found in tumors because they're disrupting natural processes of the body. Bring it one step closer into your environment, your internal environment. If your liver is overloaded because of the hundreds of chemicals it's processing every day, or you're not drinking enough water so your kidneys are sluggish, or you're constipated because you're eating junk food and you don't have good flora, all those pathogens and those toxins in your body are going to keep recirculating. So when we look at toxicity, we can look at it from a large perspective, a macro perspective, and then take it all the way down into the body, into a micro perspective, and we are burdened with toxins. So we have to be very proactive about learning to detoxify the body properly and changing our lifestyle and eating better foods.
So that explains the question that people have. Why did 100 years ago, why was cancer 1 in 40 to 1 in 80? And now it's 1 in 2 men, 1 in 3 women, because they didn't have the 74 billion pounds of chemicals per day. They didn't have the electromagnetic frequencies 100 years ago. They didn't have the cleaning products under their sink. They didn't have the products that they rub on their skin with carcinogens. They didn't have the junk foods. That was a great explanation, because that explains that question. We've got all of these toxicities that weren't around 100 years ago, and so now we have this increase in cancer, and it naturally makes sense that that's one of the contributing factors, these toxicities that were not around 100 years ago.
And the CDC did a study in, start over, it was,
Sure.
The CDC did a study about 10 years ago where they took samples of blood, urine, and saliva of over 2,000 people in the United States. And they found on average 212 chemicals in people's bodies. So what does the body do with that? Over 212 chemicals that the body has to process and figure out what to do with and try to expel. So that stress is causing a tremendous amount of so that chemical stress is really compromising the immune system and putting a lot of stress on the excretory organs of the body, which leads to DNA damage and more cancers.